When the desert meets the Atlantic Ocean, one of the world's most extreme ecosystems unfolds. The majestic beauty of nature here is not meant to be admired, but to be fought for. The largest and most formidable predators blend into the red sands, waiting for their chance at survival. Namibia. Time and wind have sculpted every glowing red dune. Where the cold winds from the Atlantic blow, they only intensify the challenge. Nowhere else in the world is the battle for survival as fierce as it is here. Welcome to wild Namibia, the endless struggle for survival in the vast desert wilderness. Despite its harshness, nature still holds unexpected blessings from a higher power. This is reflected in the remarkable adaptability and survival instincts of Namibia's resilient creatures. This land is the ultimate racecourse for the cheetah. They select, approach, and launch into high-speed pursuits of their prey. The blazing sun quickly drains their energy. The cheetah stands at a crossroads, either push harder to catch the prey or abandon the chase. As night falls, leopards lurk on cliffs towering 100 feet high, waiting for an unsuspecting victim to pass by. Meanwhile, powerful lions are on the prowl, seeking any means to fill their hungry bellies. They are ready to fight for food, even if it means clashing with other predators. All of this is part of the relentless struggle for survival in this unforgiving world. Namibia, with its vast area of 318,261 square miles, is a land of diverse landscapes and rich historical significance. The Nama Group region of Namibia is notable for its fossils from the Ediacaran period, approximately 600 million years ago, providing crucial evidence of the early emergence of multicellular life on Earth. The Khomas Highlands in the center and the Kalahari Plains in the east bear witness to millions of years of Namibia's geological transformations. Since the Precambrian era, around 550 million years ago, volcanic activity and tectonic movements have shaped the region's varied landscapes and rich mineral deposits. As a result, Namibia has become a hotspot for geologists and paleontologists alike. Stretching over 1,200 miles along the Namibian coast is the Namib Desert, where pristine beauty and harshness intertwine. For over 55 million years, the Namib Desert, one of the oldest deserts in the world, has stood as an eternal witness. It has observed the constant transformation of sand and wind. The towering red dunes, over 1,150 feet high, act like colossal natural walls, shifting endlessly under nature's force. The landscape changes every day, but the severity remains unchanged. Sossusvlei and Deadvlei are clear examples of nature's evolution. Where life once flourished, now only the remains of camel thorn trees, dead for 900 years, stand silently on the sun-bleached earth. Here, life must find ways to adapt to impossible conditions. The Namib desert beetle, though small, has the remarkable ability to collect moisture from morning fog on its back. This extraordinary mechanism has inspired water harvesting systems in dry regions around the world. Amid the arid Namib Desert, where desert winds sweep across towering dunes, the Oryx gazella, also known as the gemsbok, moves with steadfast determination. This large antelope can weigh up to 460 pounds and stand nearly 4 feet tall at the shoulder. Having evolved over millions of years, they are equipped to survive the harshest conditions of the hot, sandy desert. Their long, straight horns, measuring between 33 to 47 inches, sharp like swords, serve as formidable weapons for defense, allowing them to fend off predators. The Namib Desert, with its minimal rainfall of just a few inches per year, presents an exceptionally challenging habitat. Yet, the oryx has evolved to cope with the extreme heat by tolerating body temperatures up to 113 degrees Fahrenheit without sweating. This adaptation allows them to conserve water, an invaluable resource in this environment. During prolonged dry spells, oryx can survive for weeks without drinking water, obtaining moisture from dry grasses and succulent plants. The gemsbok is most active in the early morning and late afternoon when the temperatures are cooler. On the harshest days, they migrate across the arid desert, seeking out grass that sprouts from the rare, fleeting rains. Their unique circulatory system protects their brain from overheating, ensuring survival even when the surrounding environment becomes unbearably hot. Meanwhile, the springbok has its own unique methods for surviving under the scorching sun on the vast yellow sands. Standing between 28 to 34 inches tall and weighing 66 to 99 pounds. The springbok is distinguished by its coat of brown, white and black. When it moves, a special strip of fur along its back can stand erect like a flag, signaling potential danger to others or simply expressing excitement. The springbok's ability to survive in the arid environment is remarkable. They can go weeks, sometimes months, without drinking water, instead drawing moisture from dry grasses and succulent plants scattered across the desert. At night, when humidity rises, they roam in search of food, maximizing the water retention benefits of the plants they consume. The name springbok comes from its characteristic leaping behavior, known as pronking. They can leap up to 6.6 feet high with their legs held stiffly straight, creating a striking and powerful display. This behavior serves not only as a response to threats but also as an expression of energy and unity within the herd. Seasonally, springbok herds move across various areas. When rains arrive, lush green grass springs up, signaling the start of the breeding season. The herds shift their habitats, seeking fresh grasslands following these rare rains. Desert elephants are not a separate species, but are part of the African bush elephants that have adapted to the extreme conditions of the desert. This population is particularly unique and rare, with only about 150 individuals remaining, mainly residing in the Kunene and Erongo regions of northwestern Namibia. They face numerous challenges, from habitat loss to the threats of climate change and human-wildlife conflict. Their low reproduction rate makes the population even more vulnerable to these pressures. Unlike their grassland relatives, desert elephants are smaller in size, with longer legs and larger feet that help them move across sand dunes without sinking. These adaptations enable them to travel great distances, sometimes tens or even hundreds of miles, in search of water and food in an unforgiving landscape. Dry riverbeds like the Ugab and Huab serve as their lifelines, where they dig deep to access underground water, providing not only for themselves, but for other desert creatures as well. Desert elephants are omnivorous. They consume any available vegetation, from shrubs and trees to succulent plants like camelthorn and mopane. During times of scarcity, they may strip the bark from trees to access the nutrients within. To avoid the blistering heat of the day, they often forage at night or during cooler hours. However, their most remarkable trait is their ability to withstand water scarcity. While grassland elephants require daily water intake, desert-adapted elephants can survive up to 5 days without drinking. Their ability to store water and extract moisture from plants allows them to endure life in the dry desert environment. The arid Namib Desert, where sandstorms and scorching heat dominate, is also home to the resilient meerkat, small yet enduring creatures. This endemic species is widespread across Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa. In Namibia, they primarily inhabit dry areas such as Damaraland and along dry riverbeds, where conditions are always challenging. With a compact body measuring just 17.7 to 21.7 inches in length and weighing between 1.4 and 2.1 pounds, meerkats easily blend into the desert landscape. Their light brown-grey fur provides effective camouflage, creating a hazy contrast under Namib's intense sunlight. The black circles around their eyes not only reduce glare, but also enhance their long-distance vision in bright conditions. The life of meerkats relies heavily on the strength of their community. They live in large social groups called mobs or clans, which can consist of up to 50 members. Their strong cooperative spirit is evident in daily activities, from hunting and territorial defense to caring for the young. While some members go out foraging, others stand guard, alerting the group to danger with distinct calls. This tight social system is essential for survival, helping them fend off threats from predators like birds of prey. Meerkats are omnivores. They hunt insects such as beetles, centipedes, and even small lizards. To survive in the dry environment, they also turn to succulent plants to absorb moisture. This ability allows them to endure during periods of water scarcity, a feat not every species can achieve. The self-dug burrows in the dry sand provide meerkats with shelter. Here, the temperature remains stable, shielding them from the daytime heat and keeping them warm during cold nights. As dusk falls, or in the early morning, they emerge from their burrows, beginning their hunt across the quiet sand fields. This is the daily rhythm of the meerkats amidst the harshness of nature. The Skeleton Coast, where the barren Namib Desert meets the frigid Benguela Current, forms a natural landscape of eerie beauty. Beneath the seemingly endless stretches of sand, this place is not merely a dead land, but a meeting point of vigorous life. From scattered shipwrecks, relics of distant journeys, the Skeleton Coast exudes a raw, desolate beauty with hidden vitality. The Benguela Current, carrying cold waters from Antarctica, makes this coastline unique. It brings in thick fog blankets, acting like a protective cover over the arid land, stretching up to 30 miles inland. This fog serves as a precious water source, sustaining plants and animals adapted to the harsh environment. This scene presents a perfect contrast. A fragile mist that is the primary source of life in a land where rainfall is scant. Along the Skeleton Coast, large colonies of Cape Fur seals have thrived in a marine environment so harsh that few species can endure it. They live in vast groups of up to 300,000 individuals. The large males, weighing up to 770 pounds, dominate the coastline. Meanwhile, the smaller females, weighing between 88 to 176 pounds, focus on nurturing their young amid the relentless elements. The survival of the Cape Fur seal depends on the Benguela Current, which sustains the entire population. Thanks to the cold Benguela Current, these seals enjoy a rich food supply of fish, squid, and crustaceans. Cape Fur seals are skilled hunters, diving to depths of up to 660 feet and holding their breath for as long as 7.5 minutes as they hunt below the ocean's surface. Each dive is a life or death journey, where they face formidable predators like the great white shark. Life on land is equally intense for the Cape Fur seal. The breeding season transforms the coastline into a battleground, with aggressive males defending their territories fiercely. Meanwhile, the young pups face threats from brown hyenas, predators that take advantage of the adult's absence while they are out hunting at sea. According to the Journal of Marine Biology, pup mortality rates have risen due to hyena predation, creating a dramatic survival cycle along the Skeleton Coast. The brown hyena, also known as the strand wolf, exists quietly along the desolate inland stretches near the coast. In a landscape of swirling sand and scarce food, this rarest of hyena species has developed its own unique survival tactics. With its dark brown, shaggy fur, large ears, and lean frame, the brown hyena stands out. Standing about 30 inches tall and weighing between 75 to 100 pounds, this seemingly small creature harbors impressive strength. They target vulnerable young Cape fur seals as a vital food source, helping them sustain life. With powerful jaws capable of crushing bone, they consume nearly every part of a carcass, leaving little behind for others. Despite their resilience, brown hyenas face the threat of population decline. Climate change and habitat loss have placed them on the IUCN's near-threatened list. Projects like the Skeleton Coast Brown Hyena Project are working to monitor and protect this species, ensuring they continue to thrive in the wild. The Skeleton Coast is also frequented by the black-backed jackal. With its silver-black coat stretching from shoulders to tail, this jackal stands out against the yellow sand and grey gravel of Namibia's coastline. Weighing between 13 to 29 pounds and standing about 15 to 19 inches tall, the black-backed jackal may be small, but its agility and intelligence make it a formidable opportunistic hunter. Life for this jackal is a survival race. On the Skeleton Coast, it targets Cape fur seal colonies, especially the vulnerable young or any abandoned remains. By utilizing all available food sources, from fresh meat, insects, and fruit to carrion, the black-backed jackal demonstrates remarkable adaptability and resilience. Not just a hunter, this jackal also serves as a scavenger, helping to maintain the ecological balance of this coastal environment. However, their foraging extends beyond the coastline. During cold, long nights, they can cover up to 31 miles searching for their next meal. Their quiet steps weave through the sand and rocks, following traces of life in this stark landscape. The desolate shores of the Skeleton Coast, nourished by the cold Benguela Current, bring a rich supply of food from deep within the ocean. This current is a lifeline for numerous seabird species. Against the white sands and rugged rocks of the Skeleton Coast, the African black oystercatcher stands out with its jet-black plumage. Its orange-red beak and legs appear like bright accents against the stark landscape, reflecting its long-standing connection to this harsh marine ecosystem. This bird has lived here for thousands of years, becoming an integral part of Namibia's coastal ecosystem. It primarily hunts at low tide, using its sharp beak to forage for mussels, oysters, and marine worms. With skillful precision, it extracts these invertebrates, showcasing the expert hunting techniques the African black oystercatcher has perfected over time. This coastline is not only a hunting ground, but also a nesting sanctuary for the African black oystercatcher. During the breeding season, from September to April, pairs nest on sandy beaches or rocky shores near the water's edge. However, these nesting sites come with significant risks. Storms, large waves, and predators constantly threaten their eggs and young chicks. Each pair lays only 1 to 3 eggs, and survival rates are low. On average, only one chick survives every 3 to 4 years. while adult birds remain close to their nest within a range of about 9 miles. Young oystercatchers may migrate up to 1,200 miles, only to return to their birthplace after a few years. These distant journeys, a kind of pilgrimage to their origins, help maintain balance within their population. The Skeleton Coast of Namibia also witnesses the resilient yet precarious survival of the Cape Gannet. Flat, rocky surfaces on islands like Mercury, Ichabod, and Possession serve as sanctuaries for dense colonies of these seabirds. Here, thousands of nests are built closely together to minimize the risk of predator attacks. The Cape Gannet's breeding season occurs in winter. During this time, females incubate their eggs for around 42 days until the chicks hatch. After 90 to 105 days, the young birds leave their nests and embark on the challenging life at sea. The Cape Gannet is renowned for its exceptional diving skill. From high above, they dive into the ocean at speeds up to 62 miles per hour, piercing the deep blue to catch sardines and anchovies, their primary food sources. Their wide wings enable them to travel hundreds of miles each day in search of food offshore. These flocks can fly up to 124 miles out to sea, riding the wind currents and skillfully alternating between flapping and gliding to conserve energy during their journey. Yet, this strength cannot counter the impact of overfishing and changes in the marine ecosystem, which have depleted their food sources. Within just 50 years, from the 1950s to 2000, the Cape Gannet population in Namibia plummeted from 114,600 breeding pairs to only 18,200 pairs, a decline of 84%. This alarming drop led to the Cape Gannet being classified as endangered by the IUCN in 2017. The southwestern coast of Africa, along the wild Skeleton Coast, is an ideal breeding ground for the Cape cormorant. Coastal rock formations and isolated islands serve as natural fortresses. Here, large colonies of Cape cormorants nest closely together, using collective safety to ward off predators in this harsh environment. Adult Cape cormorants reach a length of about 30 to 34 inches. Their jet-black plumage gleaming with a blue sheen under sunlight, creating a mysterious and captivating image against the vast landscape. The hunting skills of the Cape cormorant have been honed and optimized over time. They dive into the cold ocean waters with agility and remarkable precision to catch small fish like sardines and anchovies, their primary food sources. Their deep dives showcase their extraordinary survival abilities in a challenging environment. However, even these well-developed skills cannot shield them from external pressures. Cape cormorants face a severe decline in food supply, a consequence of overfishing of the fish species they rely on. According to the IUCN, the Cape cormorant is now listed as endangered, reflecting a significant population decrease in recent decades. Conservation efforts focused on habitat protection and fishery management have become the only key to saving this species from the brink of extinction. The Skeleton Coast is also home to the African penguin. This is Africa's only penguin species, forming dense colonies on coastal islands between Namibia and South Africa. Their population is estimated at around 5,300 pairs in Namibia and 13,200 pairs in South Africa. These penguins stand between 24 to 28 inches tall and weigh between 4.9 to 7.7 pounds. Their backs are solid black, contrasting with their pristine white bellies, accented by a black band across the chest, creating a unique interplay of light and dark against the ocean backdrop. The black spots and bands on their bellies are unique to each individual, much like human fingerprints, giving every penguin a distinct identity. The African penguin relies primarily on sardines and anchovies for sustenance. However, when these fish become scarce, they turn to gobies to survive. Their deep dives and cooperative hunting techniques are crucial for finding food in the ocean depths. Yet, increased maritime traffic disrupts these hunting behaviors, making it harder for them to sustain their colonies. Since the early 20th century, the African penguin population has declined by 95%, a staggering decrease. The main threats include overfishing, oil pollution from ships, and habitat changes due to climate change. Currently listed as endangered by the IUCN, conservation efforts for this species have become increasingly urgent. In the Central Highlands of Namibia, Irindi Private Game Reserve spans over 70,719 hectares, presenting a vibrant natural landscape. The scenery here is ever-changing, from vast savannas to lush grasslands, rising into rugged rocky hills. Irindi is more than just a sanctuary. It's a story of harmony between earth and nature. At the heart of this ecosystem are natural waterholes. During the dry season, these waterholes become lifelines for a multitude of animal species. This reserve is home to over 60 species of mammals and 300 bird species. Notably, the presence of the Big Five, lion, leopard, rhinoceros, elephant and buffalo, moves quietly across this land, creating an atmosphere of tension and majesty. Within the wild plains of Irindi Private Game Reserve, the African wild dog stands out with its vibrant coat, thriving in a challenging environment. These dogs are widespread across sub-Saharan Africa, particularly in Namibia's deserts and savannas, and Irindi is a notable sanctuary for their conservation. Their fur, with intricate patches of black, white, yellow and brown, resembles an artful mosaic, making them easily recognizable in the natural world. But behind this beauty lies a relentless struggle for survival. This species is not only one of the most skilled predators, but also possesses an incredibly complex social structure. The pack organization is remarkable, with each group containing 10 to 15 individuals, sometimes even up to 40. Only the alpha pair breeds, while other members share the responsibility of raising the pups, even regurgitating food to feed them, a behavior rarely seen in other species. The close bond between pack members is the key to their strength, enabling them to achieve a hunting success rate of up to 80%, far surpassing other predators like lions or leopards. When hunting, African wild dogs never act alone. They employ a pack strategy, reaching speeds up to 43 miles per hour, chasing and encircling prey from multiple directions. This creates thrilling chases where the prey is exhausted in the chaos of perfect team coordination. However, their lives go beyond successful hunts. Their survival faces significant threats. The African wild dog is currently listed as endangered by the IUCN, with only about 6,600 mature individuals remaining worldwide. Factors such as habitat loss, human conflict, and illegal hunting are pushing them toward the brink of extinction. The vast expanse of shrubs and dry savanna in Irindi Private Game Reserve provides an ideal arena for the hunting pursuits of the leopard. As one of Africa's master predators, leopards possess remarkable adaptability. From dense forests to arid deserts, these big cats have demonstrated their survival prowess over thousands of years. In Irindi, leopards play a crucial role as primary predators, keeping populations of hoofed animals like kudu and springbok in balance. Unlike other predators, the leopard doesn't rely on numbers. They are solitary hunters, thriving on stealth and keen observation. Patience and finesse are a leopard's ultimate weapons. With their golden coat dotted with black rosettes, they blend seamlessly into the environment, concealing themselves among dusty fields to watch prey from afar. When the moment is right, the leopard bursts forth, taking down its prey in an instant. Weighing between 66 to 176 pounds, a leopard can leap across 20 feet in a flash, delivering a fatal blow. A bite to the neck ends the hunt, and the leopard quietly drags its prey up a tree to enjoy the reward. This flexibility is exemplified by its tree climbing ability, which helps leopards protect their kill from dangerous rivals like hyenas and lions. The southwestern black rhinoceros, a subspecies of the black rhino, primarily inhabits Namibia, including the Irindi Private Game Reserve. This species is well adapted to semi-arid environments, ranging from deserts to dry savannas. As one of the rarest animals, its population is currently around 2,583 individuals and is classified as near threatened by the IUCN. The southwestern black rhinoceros is typically solitary but exhibits social behavior, especially around water sources. Males usually have their own territories, though they are not highly territorial, while females often live with their young. These rhinos weigh between 1,760 to 2,980 pounds and can live up to 50 years. The southwestern black rhinoceros is distinguished by its hooked upper lip, which allows it to easily feed on leaves and small branches. As a browsing species, its diet includes shrubs, young branches, and leaves. This adaptation helps it survive in areas where food sources are limited. Etosha National Park, spanning over 8,600 square miles, is one of Namibia's most remarkable natural wonders. The landscape here is vast and full of surprises, from expansive savanna grasslands and dense mopane woodlands to arid plains. At the heart of Etosha lies the Etosha Pan, a massive salt basin covering 1,840 square miles. This was once a giant lake, now a dry basin, with water only appearing after rare rains. The rainy season brings life back to the basin, transforming the Etosha Pan into a gathering point for migratory birds, including flamingos. When the water flows in, the skies come alive with the vibrant colors of these birds. However, in the dry season, the pan reverts to its desolate state, leaving only natural waterholes. It is around these waterholes that life in the park is most vibrant. This region is home to 114 mammal species and over 400 bird species. The dry season, from May to October, is the ideal time to witness these spectacular scenes. An entire ecosystem gathers around the waterholes where every creature must compete to survive. In Etosha National Park, African bush elephants are famously nicknamed ghost elephants due to the white dust covering their bodies after wallowing in the salty mud of waterholes. This mud layer not only helps regulate their body temperature, but also protects their skin from insects. The elephants in Etosha are the tallest African bush elephants, standing between 10 to 13 feet tall and weighing up to 15,000 pounds. Their remarkable adaptation to the arid environment enables them to endure the harshest conditions. Elephants live in family groups led by an older female, known as the matriarch. These groups consist of females and young calves, while adult males typically live alone or in small bachelor groups. Water sources within the park, especially the Etosha Pan, are essential for their survival. During the dry season, herds travel dozens of miles to find water and food. They can consume up to 600 pounds of food daily, including grass, leaves, and fruits. At the peak of the dry season, elephants often gather around waterholes to drink and bathe in mud. During these times, the largest males usually appear, often around midday when temperatures are at their highest. The vast, salty Etosha Pan becomes a crucial lifeline for elephants and many other animals during the harsh, dry season. Under the intense sun of Etosha National Park, the Angolan giraffe proudly towers over the arid savanna. This is the tallest animal in the world, reaching heights of up to 18 feet. Its pale yellow coat, adorned with large brown patches extending down its legs, presents a majestic yet silent image. These giraffes are not only symbols of strength, but also of resilience, adapting to the harsh conditions of Etosha, where dry savannas and endless grasslands stretch across the landscape. In this arid environment, the giraffe's diet primarily consists of comifera and acacia trees. They are well adapted to sparse vegetation, feeding mainly in the early morning and late afternoon when temperatures are cooler. The tender leaves they pull from the treetops provide the nutrition needed to sustain their large bodies, which weigh between 1,800 and 2,600 pounds. Giraffes roam constantly, without fixed territories. They live in small groups of 5 to 20 individuals, where females and young survive together. Occasionally, males, living alone or in small bachelor groups, display their strength in intense necking battles to win mating rights. The breeding season occurs year-round, and after a 13 to 15-month gestation, A calf is born, standing up and following its mother within just an hour, a vital survival instinct. Meanwhile, within the arid savanna of Etosha, lions continue to assert their dominance. Here, the majestic silhouette of these powerful predators stands out against the dry golden grasslands and dusty waterholes. Every step they take leaves a mark on the harsh landscape, embodying strength and a spirit of survival forged over centuries. Etosha's lions are massive, with males weighing up to 550 pounds. Their muscular bodies, equipped with sharp claws and powerful jaws, are always ready to bring down prey. When it comes to hunting, the lionesses play the primary role. During the dry season, as temperatures soar, life in Etosha congregates around shrinking waterholes. This is the prime hunting opportunity for lions. They don't need to chase far. Instead, they lie in wait near the water's edge, anticipating herds of antelope, zebras, or gemsbok arriving to quench their thirst. The dry season becomes the main stage, where dramatic survival battles between predator and prey unfold. They stalk their prey from the shadows of low shrubs, their golden eyes gleaming with intent. Lion hunting strategy in Etosha demands patience and skill. In a pride, the lionesses encircle the prey, forming wings to trap it from all sides. Meanwhile, other lions lie in wait, hidden in the shadows, ready to strike when the moment comes. Though their running bursts are short-lived, lions can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour in mere seconds. This teamwork makes them the most effective hunters on the grasslands. Etosha, with its vast savanna and arid landscapes, is one of the last strongholds for the cheetah. A creature of remarkable agility and precision, cheetahs are among the top land predators. However, their numbers have sharply declined over the past century, making Etosha one of the most vital refuges for this species in Namibia. The cheetah's long legs and lightweight body are perfectly designed for speed. They can accelerate up to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds, turning each chase into a high-stakes race for survival. Their flexible bodies are like a drawn bow, with a supple spine that allows for rapid acceleration and sharp turns. But the price of speed is brevity. After each sprint, a cheetah has only about 20 to 30 seconds to take down its prey before exhaustion sets in. A chase is limited to once a day, with everything depending on precision and patience. In Etosha National Park, cheetahs make strategic use of the terrain. Large trees or termite mounds serve as lookout points and communication hubs. Here, scent marks left by other cheetahs act as a silent way of defining territories. Researchers use camera traps and GPS tracking to monitor their activities, aiming to understand how cheetahs survive in Etosha's challenging environment. With their efficient hunting skills, Etosha's cheetahs focus on medium-sized prey such as springbok and hares. They tend to hunt in the early morning or late afternoon when temperatures drop, and prey is more likely to be exposed. Their strategy involves stalking from afar, waiting until they're within 60 to 70 feet before charging forward at breathtaking speed. Despite their agility, cheetahs face significant threats from nature and other predators. Larger carnivores like lions and hyenas not only compete for prey, but often steal cheetahs' hard-won meals. Caution and finely tuned tactics are essential for the cheetah's survival. The Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain are precious lifelines within Namibia's harsh environment. The Kunene River originates in Angola, flowing across the border and emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. Amid this semi-arid landscape, the river is like a bloodstream coursing through the dry desert, carrying life to countless species. Along the Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain in Namibia, the African jacana steps gracefully over the water, as if walking on floating leaves. With their long legs and slender toes, they maintain perfect balance on the broad lily pads. This bird is not only striking in appearance, but also unique in its breeding behavior, polyandry. In the world of the African jacana, it is the female that mates with multiple males. Afterward, she leaves the responsibility of incubating the eggs and raising the chicks to the males. This makes the males devoted fathers, building nests from floating vegetation and protecting the young in the challenging wetland environment. African jacanas feed on small creatures like insects, crustaceans, and mollusks, walking across floating leaves to forage on the water's surface. Occasionally, they even pick insects off the backs of larger animals like buffalo or hippos, a characteristic sight in this wetland ecosystem. When threatened, the African jacana can dive underwater to escape, leaving just its beak above the surface to breathe. This agility and adaptability have enabled it to survive environmental changes, particularly in the seasonally shifting waters of the Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain. Breeding season brings the arrival of the great egret. Flocks of great egrets gather into rookeries among the trees along the Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain. Their yellow bills gradually turn a bright green, and long, soft tail feathers develop to attract mates. Their nests, built from shrubs near the water, are places where both males and females share the duties of incubating eggs and raising the young. Although typically solitary, during breeding months, great egrets gather to form large bird colonies amidst the untouched wilderness. With their pure white plumage, they stand motionless under the sunlight. Their long, slender legs blend seamlessly into the flooded landscape. Their sturdy black legs allow them to move easily over floating vegetation, while their sharp eyes keenly track every ripple on the water's surface. Standing up to 3 feet tall with a wingspan of nearly 5 feet, the great egret is not only a symbol of grace but also a skilled predator. It stands motionless, waiting for unsuspecting prey like small fish, frogs, or insects. When the moment arrives, its long, sharp bill strikes into the water, quickly snatching its prey, a scene like a white arrow piercing the calm water. The marabou stork, a large bird reaching up to 5 feet tall with a wingspan of nearly 9.4 feet, is also drawn to Namibia's Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain. With its bare neck, broad black wings, and slow, deliberate movements, the marabou stork carries a somber, almost grim appearance, earning it the nickname Undertaker Bird. Like the great egret, breeding season transforms the marabou stork into a communal species. They build nests high in trees near water, forming large colonies alongside other storks and herons. This is a rare time when they abandon their solitary lifestyle and join in the bustling society of the breeding season to raise their young. In the wild, marabou storks are notorious scavengers. Wherever there's a carcass, marabou storks arrive, competing with vultures and other birds for the remaining scraps. Their long, powerful bills make it easy for them to tear meat from carcasses, a testament to their survival instincts in tough environments. However, marabou storks don't rely solely on scavenging. They are skilled hunters in shallow waters, standing motionless as they wait for fish, frogs, or small animals to pass by. With a swift, decisive strike, their sharp bill ends the hunt in an instant. The Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain in Namibia are home to the roan antelope, a striking species with reddish-brown coats and long, prominent ears. Their coloring contrasts with the black and white patterns on their faces, making them an unmistakable sight on the African savanna. Both males and females have impressive curved horns, symbolizing strength and resilience, though the male's horns are longer, giving them an advantage in power contests. Roan antelope do not maintain fixed territories, instead moving in herds of 5 to 15 individuals, sometimes reaching up to 35. Older males often serve as leaders, protecting the herd from potential threats. Non-dominant males will form bachelor herds, groups of single males. When competing for herd control, males engage in horn battles, intense contests, but rarely fatal. Flooded regions with abundant water are a perfect haven for the African wild buffalo. Vast green grasslands stretch out where the earth meets the sky, attracting thousands of buffalo each rainy season. With their massive build, curved horns, and glossy black coats, buffalo create a majestic and wild scene. These large herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands, quietly move along rivers, embodying the power of one of Africa's largest mammals. Buffalo can reach lengths of up to 11 feet and weigh between 930 and 1,900 pounds. Their large horns serve as powerful weapons in dominance battles and as sturdy shields to protect their heads from attacks. This formidable appearance gives buffalo an aura of strength, deterring most predators, even fearsome ones like lions or hyenas, from confronting them directly. In the Caprivi floodplain, buffalo rely on both the abundant grasslands and the water from flowing rivers. Each season, they migrate along the water, crossing fertile grasslands in search of food. As grazers, they consume vast amounts of grass daily to maintain their health and energy. Their presence plays a vital ecological role, helping to keep grasslands balanced. The Kunene River and Caprivi floodplain are home to the semi-aquatic giant, the hippopotamus, a characteristic species of the region. Weighing between 2,200 and 4,400 pounds and standing around 4.3 to 4.6 feet tall, the hippo is one of Africa's largest animals. Its thick, hairless skin protects it from the harsh effects of sunlight, an essential adaptation in this challenging environment. Hippos live in herds, typically comprising 10 to 20 individuals, though groups can be even larger. Dominant males occupy specific areas in the water and defend them from other males, especially during breeding season. Territorial battles between males can be intense, with large canine teeth used to confront rivals. During the day, hippos spend most of their time submerged, where they can regulate their body temperature. At night, they leave the water, often traveling miles to graze. As grazers, hippos consume primarily grass, with adults eating up to 88 pounds each night. A 2024 study by Namibian Conservation highlights the hippo's ecological role in maintaining natural waterways, which in turn supports fish and other aquatic life. Their movements and activities help sustain food sources and shape the ecosystem of the Kunene River region. Namibia, with its vast deserts and arid grasslands, stands as a symbol of resilience. But as temperatures rise, the creatures that inhabit this land face a series of harsh challenges. Climate change is one of the most severe threats, particularly in the form of prolonged droughts. According to a 2023 report from the Namibian Environmental Ministry, Namibia is among the countries most heavily impacted by climate change, with average temperatures rising by 1.5 degrees Celsius over the past 50 years. Extended droughts have led to water scarcity, reducing available food sources. As a result, species like elephants, African buffalo and roan antelope must travel farther to find water and food, increasing competition among species. In their quest for survival, wildlife faces not only the harshness of nature, but also the challenges of habitat fragmentation. The expansion of agriculture and urbanization has disrupted the migratory corridors of many species. According to data from the Namibia Nature Foundation in 2024, over 30% of natural land has been converted into farms or residential areas. This has led to a loss of habitat for species like rhinoceroses and cheetahs. Restricted from moving freely, they are forced into crowded, isolated reserves. Poaching remains a nightmare for many species. The Namibian government has implemented strong measures to combat poaching, including enhanced surveillance and GPS tracking technology. However, the illegal trade in ivory and rhino horns continues on the international black market. Statistics from the World Wildlife Fund in 2024 indicate that approximately 50 rhinos are poached annually in Namibia alone. Namibia's biodiversity is facing a severe decline. Grasslands and wetlands have been heavily impacted by human activities. Many waterbird species, such as the African jacana and great egret, are experiencing population declines as their natural habitats gradually disappear. The challenges from nature and human activities cast a dark shadow over the survival journey of Namibia's wildlife. These creatures must contend not only with a harsh environment, but also with threats posed by human development. As rivers like the Kunene and the Caprivi floodplains continue to shrink, a larger question arises: can they sustain life in an environment that grows more unforgiving with each passing day? In response to these challenges, numerous conservation efforts are underway. Namibia is a pioneer in community-based conservation, with over 43% of its land managed by local communities as conservancies. This program encourages residents to protect wildlife and share in the benefits of ecotourism. As a result, populations of species like elephants and lions have significantly increased within these conservancies. Namibia also launched the Lion Ranger program in 2018. This initiative trains local rangers to monitor lions and uses early warning technology to track their movements, reducing conflicts. Building predator-proof livestock enclosures has also helped protect livestock from nighttime attacks. One of the major conservation efforts is protecting crucial ecosystems such as the Caprivi floodplain and the Kunene River. Programs here focus on habitat restoration and mitigating the effects of climate change, creating safe spaces for wildlife. Among these successes, the significant recovery of the elephant population, especially in the Kunene region and northern conservancies, stands out. Once on the brink of extinction in the 1980s due to poaching and war, elephants had nearly vanished from this area. However, thanks to community-based conservation efforts, elephant numbers have rebounded. Each of us can contribute to wildlife conservation and habitat protection. Start with simple actions, like reducing plastic waste, conserving water, and supporting sustainable products. Share information about endangered species and their environmental challenges on social media to raise awareness. Your actions today could be crucial for the survival of rare animals and fragile ecosystems. If you've ever witnessed Namibia's striking red dunes, don't hesitate to share your experiences in the comments. Your stories could inspire and motivate ongoing conservation efforts to preserve rare wildlife and ecosystems for future generations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to join us on more incredible adventures. Or continue following the survival journeys of African savanna wildlife in Wild Savanna, Survival Stories from the Heart of Africa, Animal Documentary, and Masai Mara, Secrets of Africa's Fiercest Hunters.